Good afternoon, everybody. May I audible to you? Audible? All of you audible my voice? Rohini? Rohini? Samarth? Sanjeevani? ठीक है. In last lecture we have started the unit number 2, that is the free vibration of single degree of freedom system. We'll take a revision within a 5-10 minutes and we'll go for the derivation number 1, that is for undamped free vibration system. In this unit number 2 we have seen in last lecture the syllabus we have discussed. After that we have discussed about the title of the chapter, what is mean by the free vibration, what is mean by the single degree of freedom system, and around this whole the free vibration of single degree of freedom system, that already we have seen in the last lecture. After that the central idea about this chapter, and that central idea includes what is mean by the dynamic, its basic properties, and some of the there are some equations or the derivations included in our unit number 2. Importance of the chapter already we have seen. There is some basic fundas we will get of the basics of the dynamics and their properties as far as our civil engineering structures, that we have seen. And after that we have already studied that objective and outcome of the second unit. Based on this we have studied the what is mean by the dynamic and what is mean by the static loads with respect to variation, and with respect to variation with respect to time, the dynamic load and the static load, what are the different types of the what are the various dynamic loads and the static loads. In that we have seen the wind loads, waves, traffic, earthquake loads, and the blast, they are come under the dynamic loads. And the dynamic loads which vary with respect to time are called as the dynamic loads, and static loads are constant over a reasonable time, that we have seen. As far as the consideration with respect to time, dynamic loads are vary with respect to time, but static loads are constant over a reasonable time. Dynamic analysis, what is mean by the dynamic analysis, that is also we have seen. The analysis of structure under a dynamic loads is known as the dynamic analysis, means analysis of structure under a dynamic loads, that loads under during the earthquakes, loads during the wind, loads during the blast, at that time whatever the analysis made, that analysis is come under the dynamic analysis. Next we have seen the Newton's law, which is based on the every system having the equal and opposite reaction, so that F internal forces is equal to F external forces. At that time only the system will be at its initial position. And based on this we have seen the mass spring damper system, and we have seen the mass spring damper system, and there are the different types of the forces produces into the mass spring damper system, already we have seen. For that purpose there is a diagram shown, that is the mass spring damper system. In that, mass is the m, that damper is with respect to the coefficient c, and spring, that is the that spring proportionate with respect to the k, and m is the mass, c is the damper, k is the stiffness, u is the displacement, and we have seen the mass spring damper system. In that, c is the coefficient, damping coefficient, k is the stiffness, m is the mass, and u is the displacement, and p of t is the external forces. And in that we have seen Newton's law, every system having equal and opposite reaction, and so that based on this, F internal forces is equal to F external forces. and based on this whatever the internal forces come under this mass spring damper system are may I audible to all? May I audible to all? Rohini?
Yes.
Okay. Mass spring damper system, and based on this there are the three forces produces with respect to damper, with respect to K, that is the stiffness, and with respect to the M, that is the mass. Another M changes with respect to which force? The inertia force. C changes with respect to the viscous force or the damper force, that is the C, and K is the stiffness, which is restoring force into the spring. And that three factors are again changes or proportionate with respect to M into A, that is the mass into acceleration, that is the inertia force. Second thing is that K is the stiffness, and which will be restoring force with respect to K into X, that is the K into displacement, that is the restoring force. And C is the damper, so that the damper which is changes proportionate with respect to the velocity, so that X dot will be over there. So based on these the three internal forces produces. First one is the inertia force, that is the mu double dot. C is the damper coefficient, and so that based on this damping factor will be damping force will be produces as a Cx dot, that is the C into velocity. And third one is the K, that is the spring constant K, and which is restoring force and which are proportionate with respect to the displacement, so Kx. So in this way there are the three forces produces, and if we plot the free body diagram of this the mass spring damper system, there will be a mg, that is the mg or ma, that is the inertia force, and the p of t is the external force, and the cu dot, that is the c into velocity, that is the damping force, and ku is the restoring force, that is the spring force Ku. In this way this free body diagram is plotted over here, and based on this there are the four equation produces based on the free vibration, based on the forced vibration, based on the damping system, and based on the undamping system. And based on this four equation have written here mx double dot plus kx equal to 0. You understand here that C factor is a damping factor, K is the restoring factor, M is the inertia force. If system and the P of T is a external force. तर आपल्याला चार मध्ये डिवाइड करायचं आहे. तर त्यामध्ये बघा डॅम्पिंग आणि अनडॅम्पिंग मीन्स डॅम्पर इज प्रोव्हाइडेड, then there will be a C coefficient. If damper is there, C coefficient having some value. If damper is not there, that damping value C, damping coefficient C is equal to 0. And if the system having the if system is a free vibration, असेल तर काय असणार आहे त्या ठिकाणी, that P of T will be 0. If forced vibration is over there, forced vibration means that a system having some external force, so that P of T having some external value. In this way there are the distribution of the different equation in four ways. First one is the free vibration of undamped system, free vibration of damped system, forced vibration of damped system, and forced vibration of undamped system. असे आपल्या ह्या दोन्ही चॅप्टरमध्ये युनिट नंबर सेकंड अँड युनिट नंबर थर्ड देर आर दी फोर इक्वेशन दॅट आर दी व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट इक्वेशन अँड ॲज फॉर ॲज अवर युनिट नंबर 2 and 3 syllabus. तर in that way based on this there is a free vibration and forced vibration, that equation produces are these are the equation. आता पहिले इक्वेशन बघा, there is a first equation mx double dot plus kx equal to 0. Our overall equation is mx double dot plus kx dot plus cx is equal to f of t. That last equation is the overall equation. But if we go for the damping system, undamping system, free vibration and the forced vibration, there will be a some value getting 0. इन दिस वे यू विल सी हिअर. बघा आपण इकडे बघूया त्या इक्वेशनमध्ये एम एक्स डबल डॉट प्लस के एक्स इक्वल टू 0. आता एम एक्स डबल डॉट इज द इनर्शिया फोर्स, k x is the restoring force and is equal to 0. Means in this equation that equal to 0 means that free vibration is there, no external forces is applied to the system, means that mx double dot plus kx equal to 0. And damping coefficient c is not there, so that system becomes undamped, so that equation is for the undamped free vibration. In second system, in second system you can see here mx double dot plus cx dot plus kx equal to 0. तर यामध्ये बघा mx double dot that is the inertia force, cx dot is the damping force and kx is the restoring force, equal to 0 is nothing but a free vibration. Means this system equation is a free vibration of damped system. And third one is the equation is a mx double dot plus kx equal to f of t. F of t is a forced vibration. Why? This external force having some value, so that f of t having some value, so that this is a forced vibration. But there is a two terms only, mx double dot plus kx plus cx dot is not there, means that c value is 0, means that damping is not provided, means damper is not there, so that equation becomes forced vibration of undamped system. And the last equation is mx double dot plus cx dot plus kx equal to f of t, and that is the overall equation of mass spring damper system that will become under damped forced vibration, that is the damped forced vibration system. And for this, that equation is a mx double dot plus cx dot plus kx equal to f of t. And these are the equation. If we solve by the mathematical equation, if we solve, then we will get the equation that will be for a damping system, undamping system with respect to forced vibration and the free vibration, and that we will see. बघा हे तुम्हाला इथंपर्यंत ऑल ऑफ यू अंडरस्टँड दिस. तर बघा इफ यू अंडरस्टँड दिस डायग्राम, ही जी त्या ठिकाणी डायग्राम दाखवलेले आहे, इफ यू अंडरस्टँड दिस डायग्राम ओनली, बेस्ड ऑन दिस यू विल कवर दिस टू चॅप्टर्स, युनिट नंबर 2 and unit number 3. If you understand this diagram, based on this you will cover unit number 2 and unit number 3. बघा आणखीन एकदा I will cover this. C is the damper. Damper म्हणजे काय? What we have seen the damper. Damper is provided in the system for the dissipation of energy. If energy is dissipated, then automatically any system will come at its initial position, and for that purpose that damper is provided. That shock absorber example already I have given in the last lecture. Next point is the K is the spring coefficient K, that is the restoring force K will be produces. M is the mass. P of T, what is mean by the P of T? The P of T is the external force. U, what is mean by the U? U is the displacement. And based on this there are the three forces produces, which are these. First one is the inertia force with respect to A, that is the A into A is the acceleration, or G is the acceleration due to gravity, that is the mg or mu double dot, that is the inertia force. C is the damping coefficient, and so that the damping coefficient that will be changes with respect to the velocity, and that will be become a cu dot. And third one is the K, that is the K is the stiffness, and which will be a spring constant K, and thus in the spring that restoring force will be produces with respect to the displacement as a x, so that will be as a K into x. And if we add these three forces, that are the inertial forces, and the external force is the P of T. If any system is there, at that time there is a equal and the opposite reaction, and based on this that F internal is equal to F external, so that mx double dot plus cx dot plus kx is equal to F of T. That is the initial equation of damped vibration of forced vibration of a system. And based on this there are the four major equations are produces, and these four equations covers we will solve these 4 equation, and that will cover the 2 chapters, that will be unit number 2 and the unit number 3. Basics we will cover here with respect to the k, with respect to c, and with respect to f of t. Only two major things are here. The first one is the c value and second one is the f of t value. C comes under the damping and f of t comes under the forced or free vibration. Okay, so in this way, first equation is the mx double dot plus kx equal to 0, means in this term that equal to 0 is nothing but free vibration. And second thing is that c value having c don't have any value, means c is equal to 0, means that equation is a undamped system, means mx double dot plus kx equal to 0, that will become under the undamped free vibration. Second thing is that the second equation is mx double dot plus cx dot plus kx equal to 0, that will become under the acceleration due to gravity, that will become under the damping force, and third one is the restoring force. In this way, and equal to 0 means that is system is a damped vibration of damped free vibration of a system. Damping, why damping is there? C is provided. Next point is the third equation is the mx double dot plus kx equal to f of t. Mx double dot means that is the inertia force plus kx equal to f of t. F of t is the external force. C is nothing but a damping, but C is not provided, means that C will be equal to 0, at that system will be become a undamped system. And the last equation is mx double dot plus cx dot plus kx equal to f of t, that is nothing but damping is provided with respect to cx dot, forced vibration with respect to f of t. In this way, that 4 equations are very important in our unit number 2 and unit number 3. Based on this, we'll go for the next point. When F external is time dependent, that is the dynamic force, which can be denoted F of t. The internal force, the F internal will have 3 components, that is the inertia force, damping force, and restoring force. Already we have seen that based on the Newton's law, F is equal to mass into acceleration. Damping is based on the proportionate with respect to velocity, and restoring force is with respect to the k into x. And based on this, there are the forces are produces are F inertia force, F damping, and the F restoring is equal to F external force, means F is internal is equal to F external. Next point already we have seen in the last lecture, that is the degrees of freedom. The minimum number of independent coordinates required to define completely the position of all parts of a system at any instance of time is known as degrees of freedom. If you want to define a completely body in all the position with respect to all parts, then minimum number of independent coordinates are known as the degrees of freedom. Means the degrees of freedom is the minimum number of independent coordinates required to define completely the position of all parts of the body. Means all parts should be covered within a minimum number of independent coordinates is known as the degrees of freedom. That already we have covered in the last lecture, and based on this we have seen the last point from the unit number in the last lecture with respect to this unit number 2, that is the what is the free vibration, what is the forced vibration, what is the undamped vibration, what is the damped vibration. This definition we have seen in the last lecture. Free vibration, what is mean by the free vibration? Baga, the free vibration is a only we have to disturb to the system. If initial disturbance made to the system, that system is getting vibrated, that is nothing but a initial disturbance to the body, and that will be come under the free vibration. Okay, the basic example is if pendulum bob is there, if we initial disturb to the pendulum bob, it will be continuously getting to the getting movement with it will be getting vibrated, and so that it is known as the free vibration system. Forced vibration means any system is there and that system is continuous, system is getting vibrated because of the repeating forces. It means repeating forces will be applied to the system, that will become under the forced vibration. And last one is the damped vibration and undamped vibration. Undamped vibration म्हणजे काय, if any system is there but damper is not provided, at that point there is a no energy is lost or dissipated in friction, is known as a undamped vibration. And damped म्हणजे काय, if system having the damper is provided, at that point the system, that damper is dissipate the energy, releases the energy, and system comes at its initial position, is known as the damping position, that is the damping vibration. In this way we have seen some of the points, and the next point is the some of the basic terminology, some of the basic features about the free vibrations we'll see here now. In this periodic motion, what is mean by this periodic motion? The motion which repeats after a regular interval of time is known as periodic motion. If you have pen and the notebook, you should write this all the minor points in your notebooks with respect to the some of the basic features of vibration systems: damping, undamping, forced vibration, free vibration. You should draw the mass spring damper system with respect to diagram in your notebook. That will be getting understanding helpful for understanding to you. Okay, the basic features of vibratory system. In that, first one is the periodic motion. The motion which repeats after a regular interval of time is called as a periodic motion. बघा, the motion which repeats after a regular interval of time is called a periodic motion. Frequency, the number of cycles completed in a unit time is called a frequency. Its unit is cycle per second or hertz. Number of cycles completed in a unit time is called a frequency, and its unit is cycle per second. बघा, number of cycles completed in unit time is known as a frequency. What is meant by the time period? The time taken to complete one cycle is called as a periodic time. These all the definitions are very important for while understanding the earthquake engineering. Okay, frequency म्हणजे काय बघितलं? What is meant by the frequency? The frequency is nothing but number of cycles completed in a unit time is called as a frequency, and its unit is cycle per second, that is hertz. ह्याला काय म्हणतो आपण, काय ह्याला hertz. Second is the time period. Time period, what is mean by the time period? The time taken to complete one cycle is called a periodic time, and it is represented in seconds per cycle. Time period म्हणजे काय? The time taken to complete one cycle is called a periodic time, and it is represented in seconds per cycle. What is mean by the amplitude? What is mean by the amplitude? What is mean by this amplitude? The maximum displacement of a vibrating system or a body from the mean equilibrium position is called amplitude. The maximum displacement of a vibrating system or body from the mean equilibrium position is called amplitude. And the last point from this slide is a free vibration. When a system is disturbed, it starts vibrating and keeps on vibrating thereafter without the action of external force. Such vibrations are called a free vibration. Do you understand it? बघा, तर periodic motion means, what is mean by this periodic motion? The motion which repeats after a regular interval of time. Motion which repeats after a regular interval of time is called a periodic motion. Frequency, what is mean by the frequency? A number of cycles completed in a unit time is called a frequency, and its unit is cycle per second.